What are you doing?
Buying nail polish.
Mel,
Are we
you already
starting?
Yeah, she hit record.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, don't let me interrupt.
Nail polish is very important. I realized that this is the last coat that I put on of this one, and then I threw it away. So because it was empty, so I had to get new.
Wow, some riveting podcast.
That's okay. What do you want to talk about?
A lot to talk about. But before we get into that, I think we teased this in episode 1, but I don't think we ever finished. I think it's appropriate. We're in double digits now in our podcast to actually talk about maybe someone would care, like the origin. Why are we doing this? Why are we in these ugly chairs? Why are we talking, just yapping about the most ridiculous things? How did this come to be?
Yeah, we're yapping here, as the teens say. Because when, I think we mentioned it, Mel and I went on a road trip. We listened to a lot of hours of podcasts, and then we kind of thought, well, what would we have as a podcast? And so we were kind of like jokingly talking things through. And the more we talked in a joking way, the more we kind of like were looking at each other like, what if we really did this? So we get home and Mel immediately comes to you. She's like,
you guys bullied. I got bullied.
We did overwhelm you a little bit. We were like, oh my gosh.
I'm going to adopt a son. These ladies gang up on me.
You have a dog.
You have a dog.
He doesn't have much to
We
say.
were like, we came up with this idea. Like, what do you think? Da 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 da. And we present it to you. And I had prefaced to her before we even got in the driveway. I was like, this is going to be a lot to convince your dad to do. I was like, just take it easy. Like, it's a big commitment. See what he says.
She came on strong.
Yeah.
She came on pretty hot.
So what was your perspective?
No, well, she was direct. I don't even think she asked me. Dad, you're doing a podcast. You and Mom are doing a podcast. And this is not a conversation that we've had before. This was like you went to Michigan and you came back and she's like, you're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
So I think surprisingly, I was more it's not like me.
No.
Because I think probably my initial thought was, I don't have time. Who cares? That's the biggest thing. I listen to so many podcasts. Why does this exist? Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? I don't have time. I don't really know how to do one, or like I don't know. I've never been on a podcast.
Materials?
What's that?
You don't have the materials?
I don't have the materials. Yeah.
We didn't have 2 chairs like this.
No.
These were not just our chairs.
I think initially it was like, no. But I could tell you guys were fired up about something. So I'll listen to, I'll hear anybody out. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it. And I don't know, how you ended up convincing me to even really consider it.
If we can get semi-serious for a second.
Look how serious my face is.
Like your brow is so furrowed right now. Like you're so angry. You have such angry eyebrows.
Serious. I have that look. Yeah.
It's okay.
I'll try to smile.
No, but for real, when Mel became a teenager, actually the year before she became a teenager, you and I talked about what we want for goals for her to have, like skills and qualities we wanted her to have when she leaves the nest, when she becomes an adult 5 years after starting teenager. And we kind of coined the phrase, this is her adult internship.
Yes.
That the next 5 years of her life are an adult internship where we decide we're going to be really intentional. She's got to learn how to cook and do her own laundry and manage her expenses and like be respectful and have a job and all these things we want to see her have as an adult. We don't want to wait. So we're starting it now. Side of that is that Mel is incredibly gifted with art skills. She's got mad skills, technology skills.
Yeah.
And there isn't like a sports group for kids with those kinds of skills. And what else? We can't like
mathletes?
Dude, yes. There's mathletes for the math nerds. There's soccer for the soccer kids. There's basketball for those kids. Like there's all of those things for her. But there's no like, hey, I want to be an intern on a podcast. I want to be an intern to do graphic arts. So this was also something where we were like, well, this is a great part of Mel's adult internship.
Yeah.
And she gets to build a portfolio of like graphic art and eventually animation and things like that. Animation. You don't know about that?
Yeah, I think I will say that's what kind of tugged at me to be like, let's do this thing almost like as an experiment
Yeah.
of like, let's give this a shot and see what happens. And it doesn't matter if no one listens. I think, I know our goal from the beginning, we have to be ourselves.
Yes.
And if we try to stage anything or overly like rehearse what a podcast is and looks like, it becomes too performative, we're not going to have any fun. So
No.
we said we have to create something that if no one else hears it, but you and I listen to it, and if it makes us laugh, that's success to us. Is we just want to make sure that we're creating something that's genuine, and it doesn't have to be good. It just has to be real.
Yeah.
And
I've honestly, I've laughed so hard. But I think it is important to be authentic and just to have fun. And if, nobody ever really listens in a genuine sense, which isn't true. Like, we've got some amazing feedback and love and support and all of it.
Sure.
We love it all, but we're here to have fun with each other and to prop up this little fellow over there.
Yeah.
The littlest of the fellows.
I think we have to make something for us and say, hey, come on in, guys. If we're like, what do they want to hear? I think we've lost the plot a little bit. And it's something we get to do with Melody, and to see her skills on all this creative stuff with the video, the art, the cool stuff that has not been released that she's working on for a 13-year-old kid. It's pretty cool. So Mel, we're continuing this ride together, girl. We're going to keep on moving. And speaking of keeping on moving, I have to talk about something that happened yesterday.
Okay.
I went to the little grocery store on the corner that we go to. Everything's overpriced, but it's nice because it's not crowded and it's right in the corner.
And they have perfect avocados? Is it that store?
Not that store.
Oh.
Perfect Avocado stores. It's a little bit larger, a little bit further down.
Also overpriced.
It's the area we lived in.
Yeah.
Everything is overpriced. So I always go to the self-checkout, avoid people. That's how I roll. I'm there. I need an item. I have money. Why do I have to deal with this person? We don't need to talk about the weather.
I always go to the person.
I don't go to the person.
I love going to the person.
I need
and
chocolate
saying
chips.
Hey,
These
little
chocolate
fella, how
chips
are
are $3. I have $3. I don't know why that person has to have a moment with me in my life with just money, chocolate chips, vehicle, go home to my family. So they had it shut down, and they've done this before, and it's
really?
in the middle of the day, they're all shut down. So that's fine. There was a sweet old lady right there. I go up to her to check out, and she's asking me the questions, doing the small talk thing. It's no problem. And we check out. I only had a couple of items. And at the end, she looked at me straight in the face and said, would you like to buy a bag for 10 cents? I think she said.
No way. Like a plastic one or a paper?
I think it was plastic.
Okay.
And I just looked at her, and I wasn't trying to be rude or sarcastic. I didn't say anything. All I did is I looked at her, and then I very slowly turned and looked at all of the self-checkout, and I looked back at her, and I said, no, thank you. I'll just carry it out. And I carried it out. And the reason why I did that is because I go to this place every time.
Yeah.
It's unlimited bags for free. You can just go to the self-checkout.
Right. And the carousel of bags.
The carousel of bags. You can get, same place, right? Is that my tip to her? Is that the tax for the human to help me? That they charge the human tax for the bags? Have you noticed this before?
No.
It's unfair. Why would you charge me for a bag? It's actually slowing me down. I'm quicker without talking about the weather just to go there. So you slowing me down, talking about the weather, doesn't matter. And you're trying to charge me for a bag when I could have handled all this myself. I don't know why that bothered me so much. Things like this should not bother me. That's the most first world problem. But again, as we just said, this is the conversation that if no one else was listening, I would have with you.
You would have with me.
And I'm such a nice person. Like I don't all
such
these
a nice person.
all these rants.
Don't give me your bag.
These rants don't come out because I want people to leave and go, man, that guy that's a pleasant guy. I think I was actually said some nice stuff.
You are a nice guy.
But I didn't like it.
But you're also incredibly practical and efficient, and you're just like, wait a second. If
I'm a
I
man
just went to
of
that
principle and value. And I felt like they took advantage of me. They might have been just needing to pay the light bill. They're like, shut the registers down. We need some of this bag cash.
I might not have ever had that experience because when I go to that grocery store, I'm usually like you, picking up one or two things. That's kind of our we forgot this grocery store. That's not the big shop store. That's the last ticket item. So when I'm in there, I don't need a bag. And then I love going to the scanner checkout with the person.
Yep.
Because I love saying hi to them and seeing them and talking to them. And so I'll say, hey, how's it going? I was like, and I don't need a bag today. And I say that like every time because I never want a bag. I don't like bringing home plastic bags. When I go to the grocery store, I bring my own bags, my reusable bags.
Oh, I don't have those.
No, I have them all. You don't like to use them.
I don't want them in my car. I like a clean car.
I don't leave them in my car. They live on the shelf in the entryway.
All right.
But I tell them in advance that I don't need a bag.
Yes.
So maybe that's why they've never asked me, would you like to spend 10 cents for a bag?
Yeah, because you have your giant tote, like mom bag that you drop down. Like they wouldn't ask you that.
So here's my thing. If a grocery store is going to charge per bag, they just need to give a flat fee to all grocery shoppers.
Yeah.
Just like raise your prices.
Yeah. Or charge for the carousel. Put a sign.
Put a sign out.
Yeah.
That is weird. That they would have free bags at carousels and not.
I'm
wondering if maybe they came out with some kind of like bougie reusable plastic bag.
Yeah.
And she was offering to sell you that.
No, it was just a cheap little bag.
Oh.
But we can move on. I just needed to let you know that was a part of my life.
Well,
what's going on in your life, bud?
While we're talking about like what this is, the podcast, I think that this is for people to come, especially for us, to have a little silly goose time, take a burden off, like enjoy yourself. We will never talk about super heavy, big stuff, and definitely will never talk about politics.
No, we can't.
Never ever will we talk about politics.
Yeah.
But something happened earlier this week.
Okay.
That struck a chord in me. And I was like, great topic for the pod because we've all been in this situation. And that is, how do you handle group chat etiquette? And again, this is connected to a big story. However, this here in the pod, not political.
Yeah.
Because we're all in group chats. We're all in group teams chats
so many.
for work. We're all in group friend chats. We've got side chats. We've got family chats. You got the main group. You got the one or two people you feel super close with on the side that you're like debriefing with on the side. So group chat etiquette, because I also found out that one of my brothers switched from Apple phone this week back to the Android.
Oh,
and that ruined the family group chat.
Destroying the fabric of family.
My sister called me this week and was like, can you believe he switched back to the Android? I'm going to get blurry photos and blurry videos for the rest of this group chat because we send a lot of things through the family Sibs group chat.
Done now.
So
I'm friends with that same brother who I love and adore. And we had to start a separate. So
yes,
there's a group of us.
Right.
Your bro is in the group and this is actually new. I'm removing him.
So, okay, here's the thing though. I think
I'm kicking him out.
The newest.
How new is this? Because I don't think he said anything.
Literally yesterday I heard this.
He's beginning.
So, but his comeback was, if you just update to the next Apple software, it's fine and it doesn't matter if it's Android. So for the listeners and the non-viewers, which why are you only listening? Joe's literally texting his group chat.
I'm upset
with that brother right now. Okay, but how do you feel about group chats where only two people, like let's say there's 4 or more members in the group chat and only 2 people have conversations consistently in there? Do you think that is group chat etiquette or do you think they need to start their own side combo?
Dude, get a room. That's what I'm saying. Get a room, you two.
Thank you.
Start your own little
Go
text
to your own
thread.
chat room.
Yeah, honor the people within the chat. And it's okay to maybe 1 or 2 are like, hey Bill, by the way, how's this? But Bill's answer should be very
one
much
time.
Yeah, it should be one time, or Bill's answer should also be like, hey, I had a great time at the game yesterday. How have you guys been doing? Like you have to turn it back to the group. But yeah, those people who will turn in, and then now I'm just getting notifications and it's like, dude, get a room, get a chat.
I agree. I think one of the best like Apple features they've done in texting has been to like change it to unread. Like if you read a text but you're busy, you can't reply, you can change it back to unread.
Wait, how?
Oh, you can. I'll show you later. So I think the next update, they need to give us the opportunity not only to silence a chat, but to silence notifications. And okay, if anybody knows this is real, please tell me because this would actually save my sanity. Silence the notifications of the reactions. I'm so tired of getting like text notifications that so-and-so liked this post, so-and-so hearted this text. Like, I don't want to be in a group chat with 20 people where I see all of those little exclamation points and hearts and stuff like that because it's distracting.
Here's my rule
but I don't want to
thumb.
silence it.
If there are 4 or more people in the many group threads and chats that I have, silence all notifications immediately, and I'll get to it when I get to it, because you know that is going to be the case. If it's me and 2 other people, there's 3 of us. Ding away, because I want to be aware.
Bing, bing, bing.
And I'm so much more lively on those, just me and a couple of people, because it's a small group. As it gets larger, you can kind of like tuck in the back. And not that I want to do that, and I will chime in, but the amount of different like friend groups and work stuff, like it's overwhelming to keep up with.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But you don't want to be a jerk. You don't want to be you don't want to be a non-contributor. That's
you
not
don't.
good.
And I don't want to come down on the side of like, I hate reactions. It's just, for context, probably 6 or 7 years ago, I turned off all notifications. I don't get the little red number bubbles on all of my apps to say that I have 10 text messages waiting. Like, I only see texts. I only see like updates like that when I click on the app and I have time for it.
Yes.
And that was something I did a long time ago to protect my sanity and to like make room for other things in life. So then I do have like the banner notification.
Yeah.
So when I get that, I want it to be for a person talking to me, not just like a heart. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
I want it to be substantial. Yeah.
Can I ask a very unrelated question?
Okay.
Have you guys been faking it that you need my help to open like soda bottles?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, because of the Propel?
Yeah.
No.
It's so hard.
Have been going out of their way to ask me to open up a bottle or a can. And they're, guys, you know what I'm talking about. There's no better feeling than, and you have to play it cool. You're just like, you have to be very nonchalant, just like almost like you are being bothered, but inside you're like, this is what I have been lifting weights for. This is like on my deathbed. They say like, your life can flash before your eyes. Like, there will be moments of me just cracking cans and snapping bottles, and then having the ladies in my life be like, oh, thank you so much. And it's like, dude, it's actually not a big deal.
It's like before you die, you'll have your Muscle Man bottle opener highlight reel.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you should be old and fragile. You can't do that anymore. You have nurses do it for you. So you'll just like reminisce on the pickle jar days of just bam. And then just like, there you go, like.
Yeah.
But it's been happening enough to where I'm like, are they messing with me? And that's okay.
Okay. If it's about the Propel, 100% no.
Because it doesn't feel any more difficult than other bottles, but it's been happening a lot with
the Propel bottle for sure is really, really difficult to open.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
I'm actually good at opening bottles. That is impossible.
And it's weird too, because the cap is kind of tall. You know how they've been trying to save money on plastic, and the cap is now like a 1/16 of an inch tall.
Yeah.
And the edges feel like 1,000 tiny razor blades cutting into your skin when you open bottles.
Maybe to your delicate hands. I
do have delicate lady hands. Thank you for noticing. And the nail polish on my hands is beautiful.
Okay.
No, we're not faking it. We really do need your muscles. Okay.
All right. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I can live in that. But I wanted to expose you like on the podcast because it would have been very funny if you're just like, gosh. Yeah, we were just, trying to puff up your ego. You might not know how that means that much to men. And I would love if a guy could give me some feedback of like, oh, that means nothing to me. I feel nothing. I'm like, dude, come on.
I mean, I know the tricks to get the pickle jars open. You tap them on the counter upside down. You grab like the rubber trivet and really crank it. But no, we really need your muscles.
All right. Man,
yeah.
That feels great. Now it's a genuine smile.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that lady trying to take advantage of my charging me for plastic bags is just gone.
A distant memory, like a bag in the wind.
That's right. I believe.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
No,
I had to sing talkie there.
I was even trying to transition.
I had to sing talkie there first because we're on the pod, and it's like funny to me that I can sing talkie in front of other people.
We
but
don't have to. We shouldn't do that.
Okay, won't do it anymore. I promise.
We have a guest grievance that has been sent in, and
I heard about this. But I haven't heard it.
Yeah, would love to hear it and love to unpack it. So, Producer Mel, whenever you're ready, can we please roll that wonderful guest grievance?
Yep.
Hey, Joe. Hi, Kate. It's Heather. Hey, I wanted to call in to talk about loading the dishwasher. This apparently is something that my husband and I do differently. So, the grievance that we are constantly, it seems to be talking about is how do you do it? Now, I know that if it's a bigger item like plates, bowls, large bowls, pans, things like that, they're going to go in the bottom. That makes more sense. There's a height difference. It can hold larger things. But if it's a cup or a certain type of bowl, like a cereal bowl or something like that, even if it's a little bit bigger and it fits on the top level, what is the big deal? But my husband says it is a big deal because those things should go on the bottom. And apparently the top gets filled quicker. But my thought is what does it matter? If it all fits, there's a reason there's room up there. Let's just put it all in there and get it cleaned. And to make matters worse, I'm just curious, do you guys rinse your plates when they're dirty or your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher? And after it's clean, does it get open to sit and dry out a little? But just to help speed it along, you might take a towel and dab the little water, like the pools that are on top of some of the cups and the bowls. Do you guys do that too? I just feel like there's a lot of process for a machine that's supposed to wash it and dry the dishes. So help us out. We're interested to hear what you have to say.
Oh my gosh, the dishwasher was on my list to talk about today.
Who is not? Oh, wait, really?
It really was.
Really?
It really was.
I knew it would come up. I knew eventually the dishwasher topic would arise. And I love that instead of us, because we could have talked about this at any given point in the past 10 episodes.
Heather, I love you for bringing this up.
Heather brought it up. And it's also made me think, is there any couple who is not fighting about the dishwasher?
Everyone.
Or having an opinion about how it should be loaded?
Yeah. I think everyone has married their dishwasher opposite.
Yeah.
Everyone has married the dishwasher opposite. I, in this home, am the dishwasher nerd. And you are the dishwasher hippie. Because you'll just put things willy-nilly wherever. You'll not even put them in the row. You'll just set a cup on the tine on the top in the row of tines.
Doesn't matter.
Absolute dishwasher chaos.
It's not.
And the mugs need to go in the one rack and the glasses need to go in the other rack. And then as you get towards the middle, things can kind of start to merge and mush together on that top rack. But the outside rows, they need to be nice and tidy, orderly little soldiers lined up, ready for inspection. And you just will
I don't think dishwashers do what they're supposed to do or claim to do, and it needs to be fixed. Because what she said is absolutely true. If you think about
there's so much extra labor into it.
Here's what a dishwasher is. It's like paying to go to these automatic car washes. But as you roll up to the car wash, the little attendant comes out and they're like, hey, welcome to insert name of car wash. We're here to wash your car today, automatic car wash. But first, here's a water hose. Can you go ahead and spray down your car? I'm like, yeah. It's like, maybe throw a little bit of soap on there. It's like, isn't this why I'm here and what I'm paying you to do? It's like, yeah. And then, so I'm half washing my car to get it prepped and ready and then running it through the car wash. And then at the end, it's like, hey, I know it's not perfectly clean, but here's a couple towels because it didn't get dry. And can you finish it? Does that not resonate with you?
Well, that does, because that's what my experience in going through the car wash is every time.
Yes.
It's the kids, they don't make me do it. The kid at the car wash hoses down my front grill. And then when I'm done with the car wash, the handles still drip water down the side of my beautiful, clean, shiny car. So I have to get out with a towel and dry it.
Yeah. So there's really no machine or automatic anything that really gets anything clean and dry.
No.
So why do we not just admit that and go back to hand washing cars and hand washing dishes? Because do I load the dishwasher chaotically? Yes. But I also am a master rinser. It's rinsed. It's like, I don't put any food particles or food chunks in the dishwasher because I don't know where they go when that happens. Like that little thing that you clean.
Yes.
I can't touch that.
I clean the dishwasher catcher trap thing. And
whatever
you aren't
goulash
supposed to put
is left in the bottom is a thing of nightmares. And that's why I'm like, I'm not going to be responsible. I also don't want to feel guilty. So when you get your dirty little paws in there to paw that out, I'm not a part of that because I overly rinse.
Yeah.
I basically am washing everything twice and then I'm drying it again after the dishwasher. Because like she said, there's always the little pool of water, especially the cups that we have. And she's right. You have to go back and you have to. But let's get back to their grievance because we're airing our grievances. But let's go back to where they are at.
Oh, it's like the medium-sized-ish things. Are they bottom rack worthy or top rack only?
Like cups, mugs, smaller things are reserved up top. And it sounds like her husband's issue is you're taking up way too much real estate to put a large Tupperware puke bowl in the top, popcorn puke bowl. In the top, you just cut out a quarter or a third of the real estate for all of the other things. And you always will have more little items like cups than you would.
The top rack always fills up first.
Yeah.
Always. And I hate running a dishwasher where the bottom rack's half empty, but sometimes you got to use it because your day-to-day stuff's in the top rack.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thought. If you have space in the bottom rack, because the top rack fills up first and you got to get all your dishes done, you take the largest items that would be top rack worthy and you put them in the bottom rack. And I think you don't do that at the expense of bottom rack items. But I think you got to do what you got to do.
Does the bottom versus the top, does it wash it any differently or is it all equal? Like, is there any science to behind? There's like more pressure on the bottom. So you put the big, like, bowls that have the caked on food and maybe like a cup of milk doesn't need quite as much pressure.
I don't know about that, but I do know that you want to kind of angle all of your items in the dishwasher around the center of the rack because of the way that the water goes. But I don't know if it has more pressure.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah. My advice to them is probably the advice I'd give to us is cut the grievance out. Cut the tension out. Unplug the dishwasher, get rid of it. Go back to the old school, I wash, you dry. Because there's not a lot of argument there.
It'd be like a little date.
You have two jobs. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to wash. You're washing. I don't need you to tell me how to dry. I've got a couple towels here.
Yeah.
You come together and just like a happy 1940s, 50s couple, you bring it in. Well, probably 50s, 60s. Probably the ladies had to do it all back in like the 30s and 40s.
I don't think I saw any gentlemen washing dishes in those days.
I don't know when that started, but maybe in the 90s. Yeah, when the dishwasher was broke. Has this ever happened? Is this like a sitcom that I watched that there's like I feel like I've done this 3 times in my life to where you're washing and I'm drying and we're kind of like smiling and having a moment together. Like, I think that's what we need. The dishwasher's pretty much useless anyway. There's always like a little bit of food left on something. Unless you wash it or scrub it, you're 60% there. Just get a little bit more water and dry it and it's clean. It probably saves on energy. I think dishwashers are useless is what I, for the most part.
Are dishwashers robbing us of relational connection?
Yeah. Well, beyond that, it's causing tension.
It is causing tension.
So they're having like, and the dishes never go away.
I'll be honest.
Never go away. Every day.
It causes me tension when I know that our whole family could have been loading the dishwasher all day and doesn't. That the dishes are on the counter. Well, and I come home and I'm like, oh, look, they saved me all the work to do. And the dishwasher's right underneath this counter.
We tried to do the little flip magnet that's like clean and dirty.
Yeah.
But a couple times it wasn't accurate.
Oh,
and then
I got burnt.
As soon as that happens, it's gone. Also, is it burnt or burned? I don't know what to say.
I
got burned. I got burnt. Burnt feels weird to say.
It's that a little bit sassier though, and a little bit more fun to say. I got burnt.
Did you know the old school like actor Burt Reynolds? Until like
is his name Burnt? Burnt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds.
I know.
I said burnt Reynolds.
Did not.
Way too long in life. Like into my 20s or like, and I saw it written one time. I was like, it's not Burnt Reynolds.
Burnt Reynolds?
No, you're emphasizing the T too quickly. Just say it quickly.
Burnt Reynolds.
Yeah, see? I always thought, dude, Burnt Reynolds. Like he had a car accident and got charred a little bit. Like Burnt Reynolds.
Burnt Reynolds.
I thought it was that until I was like 20 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Burnt Reynolds.
Burnt Reynolds.
So yeah, Heather, thank you so much for the grievance.
I guess we prescribe date night dishes.
This is a tension that we actually don't have a solution, and it's going to be constant grievance between us. So I don't really know how to help.
I know, because where I stand, I was literally thinking about this last night when I loaded the dishwasher. Either one of 3 things happens. My entire family learns how to load the dishwasher the right way, which is my way, and does it, right? Or everybody leaves their dishes out for me so I can load the dishwasher in my neurotic way and be
No.
happy about how I feel like the dishes are getting washed,
All right.
right? And I get frustrated that I have to load them all.
I have a grievance.
Or, hold on, or I just let people load the dishwasher whichever wonky way they want and just be happy they're putting their dishes in. And I have decided I don't care any of it. I will just be happy I can take care of the family in that way. Because you've been talking to me a lot about how you practice gratitude when you feel either frustrated or down or whatever.
Yes, very
And
important.
I decided I'll take that note from you. I'll practice gratitude and be like, man, my family enjoyed really good food that Joe cooked on these dishes. Or Joe fixed me amazing meals with all of these dishes. And I get to load them in the dishwasher.
So glad that this is recorded on audio and
Hey,
video.
when's the last time
because
I
I can just
said that?
play it for you. When next time you're all frustrated or angry at me, I won't say a word. I'll just have it queued up, that section, and just leave it on my phone to just
Well, that's
put it in
fine,
your
because
face.
at that point, maybe I do need a reminder.
Yeah. So I think we should try it one time.
You
and
want to do
see
a date
if
night
it's
dishes?
good for our relationship. If we did the wash dry date night dishes, and I think Heather and her husband need to do the same. I think they need to get together and do it for one evening and see if there's any tension. It might be a beautiful night. They might
Put on some good music.
re-fall in love with each other. They're like,
Yeah.
I want to redo my vows, and it could lead to a really beautiful
Oh my
moment in their
gosh, yeah.
relationship. So, and if that happens, let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know.
And if you have a grievance to submit, you can submit like Heather did, a little voice memo. Email at us to peanutbutterpicklepod@gmail.com.
That's right.
Or if you want to be anonymous or just more private about things, just email us a grievance. I'll read it. Email it to us. Type it up.
Yeah.
I'll read it out for you.
Don't do that. Just
It's more fun if you put it on a
just
voice note, but still,
don't email it. I mean,
I'm a fan.
don't write it. I want to hear your voice. What you
Again,
need to
another
do is have
difference between the two of us.
Yeah, you need to. I loaded the dishwasher. You need to put a filter on it.
Wait, maybe
Yeah.
that can be a new adult internship skill Mel learns how to preparation for a future fraudster career.
Yeah, every time
of
I hear
hacking
that,
things.
every time I hear it, I think of the little talk boy thing that hello, this is Kevin McAllister, the father. I always think about his little voice thing. So we can Kevin McAllister.
We could Kevin McAllister you.
Yeah, send us your voice and then say Kevin McAllister me please, and we'll figure out a way to do that.
That'd be amazing, actually.
I have a grievance. Is
Okay.
so relevant. I've been thinking about it.
All right, what's up?
Bro, we're talking about dishes. I have gotten almost ill in the house from looking at it.
What?
We can't soak dishes anymore. It becomes pond water.
Says the man.
Mystery water. No. I'm a rinser. Let me finish. I'm a rinser. I rinse. It gets very wet. What I don't do is put a bowl in the right side of the sink, fill it with whatever, water or soap in the moment to rinse, and then start chucking other items in there. And it becomes a mystery little soup pool concoction, and it's like swamp water. I can't do it. If I even as much as bump it, or I've had it splash out. You don't know what's in there. I can't. And I respect what you're doing. You're like, this needs soaked, and then something else. And an hour from then, this does too, and it becomes a part of the collection. But I'll come out a day later just trying to rinse out a cup of coffee, and it turns my stomach. So my grievance is we have to stop.
Says the man.
Oh.
This very morning, when I loaded the dishwasher, I reached in with my bare hands and my beautiful fingernails and pulled out 2 bowls of sauce that you had just filled with water and set in the shallow
Sauce?
side of the sink.
What do you mean?
Just some sauce that you had in a little bowl in the side of the sink.
Rinsed.
Not rinsed, literally filled to the brim with water.
Wasn't me.
Was you.
It wasn't me. I'm blaming it on the
I
kids.
mean, here's the thing.
I wouldn't do
you
such a
might
thing.
be a good rinser, but we live in a household with other people, and there's not a whole household of good rinsers. And so as I'm loading the dishwasher, I will fill the largest bowl or whatever with hot, burn you like blood of the dragon.
That's great. For
soapy
that, for
water.
that moment.
And soak things,
It's what
and then
it-
I load them.
It's what it turns into.
It doesn't turn into anything.
Dude.
When is the last time that has happened?
The pond water, the swamp water, in a bowl, in a mystery bowl.
Has not happened in a very long time.
Maybe a week ago.
No.
I'm telling you. Melody had my back on the
So gross.
pond water.
Well,
That's my girl.
maybe it was because I got caught into something else. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't touch it. I refuse. And
I do my best to not do that.
Let it be clear. I'm not a 1940s man. I do my share of dishes. I don't do them as well as you, but I do. I'll run the dishwasher. I'll hand wash stuff. I'm not great at it, but I do it. I'll leave the pond water. It could.
Well, I don't blame you.
I would
That's
leave it
fine.
for 6 months.
It's never my intention to just like leave it over the whole day.
Okay. Well, hey,
If it is, it's just kind of an accident.
I just needed to submit it because I wasn't planning on it. But
like when you make Nando's sauce, 100% of the time, the next morning, I'll wake up and find a Nando's sauce bowl just like filled with water in the sink.
By itself, nothing in it. I think
But
maybe
sometimes
that's
you'll even
bigger-
have like a collection of like a Nando's sauce bowl and this kind of sauce bowl
I've got
and this kind of
marinades.
sauce bowl.
I've got different things.
And they're all in the sink
Mhm.
filled with water.
Well, it's probably because I spent so much time making a wonderful meal for you and serving you that I also
Yes.
didn't have time to hand wash or load.
So
I put a little
think-
rinsey so
Yeah.
the next morning I can go load it and it's ready to go. But I don't allow it to become pond water and add mystery items. And I don't even know how you do it. Like I've seen you just put your hand in murky like pond water and you don't know what's in there. Could be creatures in there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you keep using this word and it doesn't mean what I think you think it means.
what is it?
Rinsing.
Rinsing.
You keep saying that you rinse these sauce bowls and it is not rinsing to fill a sauce bowl filled to the brim with
I
water
get it wet.
with sauce like dribbling over the side and just leave it.
Soaking,
Yes.
moisturizing.
Soaking.
Yeah,
You leave it soaking in the sink.
it's different. It's hard to put
And
into
I
words.
still have to like
It's different.
use my finger and just like scrub all the
Do-
sauce off
Do you
the
know
side.
what would solve this grievance?
If you rinsed it.
No. Date night dishwash party.
All right, let's
we
do
just
it.
do it.
I think that the moral of what we're talking about, our common denominator in this frustration is time. Sometimes I don't have time to finish up the task of fully rinsing all of those forks, knives, and
that's
whatever and dumping the water
That's fair.
out. You sometimes don't have time to like fully accurately rinse the dishes. Time.
Okay. Listen,
Listen,
Linda.
you
There's
fella.
okay. All right. So I'm not trying to be. This is not the dish talk, but I had a buddy say something a couple days ago,
Okay.
and I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say this like out loud. I probably have watched people do it, but just the way he said it just made me think of like, is this a common thing?
Okay.
First off, he said something really cool. I don't think he knows that we have a podcast. I don't talk about it unless somebody was like, "Oh, hey, I saw that you had a podcast." Like,
Right.
I'll talk about it if somebody brings it up, but nobody likes that guy. It's like, "Hey, did you know I have a podcast?" It's
Hey, you
like,
want to listen to my podcast?
you telling me that, just guaranteed I will never check it out.
Oh,
Like,
heck no.
Don't be that guy.
It's very Uncle Rico.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah, I bet I could throw a football over the mountains. So, here's why I said that, because he was talking to someone else and I overheard. He was talking about his love for peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. I was like, I haven't heard anybody talk about that for a long time.
Way.
So I kind of perked up my ears, and just as a kid, it was like a really fond thing for him.
Are you making this up?
I promise, and I wasn't gonna be like, oh, that's funny. I've got a
Oh,
podcast.
name after
So I heard him say that, and then he said something that I just don't know if I heard anybody say.
Okay.
And he, and I think his wife had. Man, I need to get a grievance out of them. He said that when it comes to his cups, he will pour. I'm trying to think. He goes, I'll pour milk.
Ew.
He goes, then I'll drink some apple juice later. Then I'll have some. He goes, I'll have a Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
He started naming all these things. Does not rinse his cup. I'm not saying he's making a cocktail, like he's combining, like he's not intentionally combining, but he'll have his cup for the day and he'll pour milk, drink his milk, and then when he's ready for the next thing, and he didn't say it was back to back, it might be like 30 minutes later, but he was very clear on rinsing is pointless. It doesn't matter. And in his justification, which I actually do agree with, is he has no problem with foods mixed, because there are people who it's like it has to Foods can never, ever, ever touch. Even the people, as we've discussed, who eat just one thing at a time.
Right.
There are people who are like, nothing can ever touch ever. He's like, I don't care. I don't care if like my turkey bumps into my mashed potatoes and gravy.
I
Like,
don't either.
come on over
I'm
here,
a
buddy.
fan.
Let's do this thing. So that was his justification. He's like, when I eat, I don't care if like my meal touches. He's like, it's fine. I'll stir it in. And I was like, yeah, dude, absolutely. It doesn't bother me. A little bit of corn and potatoes. Like, hey, I'm not going to intentionally mix them, but get over here, bud. I'll take that bite. It's not a problem. The drinks.
Oh.
Is that different?
Corn and potatoes are one thing, but apple juice and milk
And
are completely
Dr.
different.
Pepper.
Oh. Okay, so I almost was sick right here sitting and listening to that because it brought up like such traumatic memories of
What?
of like youth group camp. When I was a kid, I went to like youth group camp, and every year the high school youth group camp had the grossest challenges in the evening gatherings at camp.
Okay.
One of them was you get split into 4 teams, and I think it was like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior teams. And they brought out this giant popcorn puke bowl size bowl filled with buttermilk mixed with soda, mixed with like goldfish crackers, mixed with horseradish, literally the most disgusting things, applesauce, and everybody gets a straw and you get lined up and you're supposed to go, and the first class to finish it got like some dumb prize or points for their team or whatever. And so I psyched myself up the whole time I'm in line, like sweating, like, you can do this. You won't be sick. This is not blah. I get to it and it smells so rancid that in the moment, little Katie's brain, little fella Katie's like, I know what to do, because the straws are see-through and I wanted my team to think I'm like really hardcore into it and I'm going to do this. So I slurped up enough of it so that it looked like it was in my mouth, and I pretended to gulp, right? This nasty concoction. And then I went back. But like, this friend of yours is like making that on the daily drinking it. No, that is 100% a hard no.
He's in control though. Like, he knows what's in there. Whatever swamp water you were drinking, that. Which why do these camp counselors and youth pastors do this? Have you ever thought? It's kind of gross and sadistic of what they make these kids eat and drink.
Yes.
Like, are kids asking for this? Because you don't go to a public school and your elementary teacher's like, hey kids, today I'm gonna pour like Faygo in a can of sardines and mix in some sour cream and like in cottage cheese, and we're all gonna go around and use the same spoon and eat it. Like, you would never do that.
Never.
You go to like a camp or you go to like a youth group and they're like, all right, this is what we're doing for tonight. Are they stalling because they don't have anything else to talk about? Mel, are kids wanting to eat this nasty stuff?
Do you want to eat that stuff?
I don't, but you guys are totally wrong. You would never believe the concoctions that kids make and eat.
Ew.
At school?
At school, it's literally the stuff you described. They do
their
it on their
lobes
own.
are not fully formed yet. We can just give it to them. But these are adult-led activities.
He's older than me.
And this is an adult we're talking about. And also, like, who drinks applesauce?
No, apple juice.
I think you said applesauce.
Oh, did I? No. Oh, dude, just a thick, chunky. No, he's not like a psychopath. His wife just comes in on him. He's just like, it's hard to even drink. You have to like, you got to bump it like a ketchup.
Tap.
Like the glass ketchup bottles that only have a lot of ketchup. It's like you hit it on the either the 57 side or the back.
I guess we'll know on the watch back, but I heard applesauce in my brain.
I said apple juice. No, that's
what really
evil,
got me.
To go from milk to chunky applesauce and you're trying to slurp it down.
No, but I will say, like, I could understand maybe apple juice.
Yeah.
And then like you drink the very last drop of apple juice and then you fill up with maybe a dark soda. I don't understand this whole milk
gave me
thing.
Chills a little bit. I have goosebumps.
But still, like the milk thing.
Yeah, he said milk.
Also, I just don't drink milk.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yikes.
He would eat a peanut butter pickle sandwich and just drink milk applesauce. And
well, he had me, then he lost me.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Well, I still love him.
Yikes.
We all have quirks and
we do have quirks.
Weird stuff.
Speaking of quirks, what's with leaving all like the closet doors open, my friend?
Closet doors?
Yeah.
Is this a grievance?
Yeah.
I think we've grieved each other enough, right?
Well, I can save it for next time. But I mean,
To be continued?
well, I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're talking
I'm getting
about.
a thumbs up and a thumbs down.
We're hitting like 45 minutes.
Oh, to my rescue, producer
You're saved by
Melody.
the producer.
Well, this is a pretty long podcast. I think we might have to save me opening
You know
all
why?
of the closet
It's
doors.
because she leaves them open too.
I think she's a part of it.
I'm not.
All right, on to the next time, unless
Until
we
next time.
forget and don't reapproach whatever you just said about
Hey,
me.
one final promise to the pod
Mm-hmm.
is one thing you might have never noticed, but we don't ask you to subscribe or like or comment or share.
I don't like when people
Because
do
here's
that.
the thing. We talked about this early on.
I don't
was
like when they do that.
I kind of came to Joe. I was like, ugh, do we have to say that?
People know what to do. If you
You're
like
a grown-up.
something, you listen to it. If you like it a lot, you're
Yes.
like, oh, I don't want to miss it. Let me hit the subscribe button. I subscribe to a ton of stuff when I like it.
Yep.
Them telling me to subscribe, it kind of makes me not like, don't tell me what to do.
No,
I'm
don't
on
tell me what to do.
I'm on my phone in the bathroom. Don't tell me what to do. Like, I'll subscribe when I
You
want to
heard
subscribe.
it here first, kids.
So do it if you want to. I'm not asking you to do it. We're talking about
Right.
like pond water and closet doors. Like, you don't need to subscribe to that unless you want to hear about it.
We're just saying you're not going to hear us ask you for that because that's
No.
not why we're here, and we trust you're an adult. So I hope that counts for something.
We don't want to tell you what to do.
We won't tell you what
Just
to
want to
do.
help you with your grievances. And the only thing I'll tell you what to do is if you're charging people for plastic bags. Stop.